Translimbal phacosuction under topical anesthesia. Pupil is moderately dilated. A 2.8 millimeter keratome enters at the distal sclera, transgresses the limbus, enters the cornea, and then enters the antechamber. It's a 4-plane incision. The area where the tunnel is created and the area where the forceps is holding the eye were deeply anesthetized with topical paracaine, proparacaine. A tunnel floor entry, the tip of the cystitome enters the antechamber at the limbus, through the floor of the tunnel. The AC is filled with HPMC, hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose, so that it is deep and nice. The pressure is normal, it's not very high, but AC is kept deep by the HPMC, which is non-leaking through the tunnel, so it retains the depth throughout the procedure. A single tunnel is created and there are no side ports. Intracameral lignocaine on the front of the iris, and then take it under the anterior capsule, rotate the special cannula axially so that the tip is directed towards the equator of the nucleus, and then hydrodissection is done. The AC is kept open during this so that there is no increase in the intraocular pressure in front of the posterior capsule. The nucleus is bimanually rotated into the anterior chamber with 2 instruments. Note that there is no strain at all on the capsular bag during the procedure. None of the zonules are either stretched or pushed during the procedure. So even if the zonular apparatus is weak, like in this case where there is non-dilated pupil, it does not really matter. You are not going to lose the zonules, or the capsular bag does not get dislocated. The entire thing happens outside the capsular bag. The nucleus is prolapsed into the anterior chamber, so it's imperative that you'll have to take utmost care to protect the endothelium. The cornea has to be clear on the day 1, as you see on slit lamp. Pupil does not dilate, but rhexis is of adequate size. The cortical aspiration is very easy because cortex has been separated from the capsule by the capsular separating hydrodissection, so it comes out easily. The subincisional cortex can be aspirated by holding the tips of the pies of cortex. The lens is dipped in viscoelastic HPMC before the haptics are folded on the front surface of the optic, so that it doesn't stick inside. You don't need the injector. A rod can push the lens through the cartridge into the capsular bag. The tip of the cartridge is slit so that there is no pressure exerted on the lens as it's being rolled and pushed into the anterior chamber. See, there are no striae on the lens, which will otherwise happen if the cartridge is not slit. All the viscoelastic from the capsular bag, behind the IOL, in the angle region, and behind the endothelium, which is stuck there, HPMC sticks to adjacent surfaces, and the HPMC has to be removed so that postoperative pressure hike does not occur. There is a striae on the posterior capsule which indicates the entire lens is in the capsular bag. The striae is caused by a stretch between the tip of one haptic to another haptic. It also indicates the way the haptic is in contact with the equator of the capsular bag. That is how you form the chamber, check the pressure, and leave it in normal intraocular pressure levels. There is no need to increase it. There is no need to hydrate the stroma as you are not stretched the stroma. Results are very elegant. Patient does not need a bandage, and he goes home and starts the medications immediately. He can resume all his activities from that day itself, including cooking or including watching television and homely work. From next day onwards, he will be able to use the eye for all his daily activities. Thank you.